Well, it looks like I'm live. My lighting sucks here. Give me a second. That's all right. You're gonna have to just live with bad lighting. Hey, there are people in chat. Maybe. We'll just see how this goes. Well, I guess we'll just wait to see if anybody shows up. There are 0 people. That's great. 1 like. 1 like, 0 people. Oh, hey, Professor Kriesler, how are you? Yeah, slow mode is on, so it's 1 message every 20 seconds, but we'll see how this goes. See if any more folks pile in, as it were. You too. Um, it's been a long day, and we'll just see. So have you seen the what's it called? If you have Disney Plus, have you seen the new Obi-Wan? I mean, that was I watched it yesterday. It was pretty good. Oh, this lighting sucks. Oh my god. Participants. I mean, basically, it's everything you could expect from Disney Star Wars. But what's impressive about it is that Ewan McGregor is, of course, reprising his role as Obi-Wan from the prequel movies, and he hasn't lost it. Like he's about he's basically the reincarnation of Sir Alec Guinness, and I thought it was really good given the quality of Disney's work lately. It's been mostly lackluster, but they did a really good job on this. I mean, he's basically this. I mean, he's on Tatooine, before Star Wars: A New Hope, and he's got PTSD basically because he was on the losing side of the war, and that was just the way they've handled it is really good. But the only problem is that the main bad guy is this chick who's trying to become a Sith Lord, and um, she's a terrible actress. She's just not any good. So it's like you could have you Disney could have something really good here if they just had somebody who is a competent actress as the antagonist. It is almost painful because Ewan McGregor, he's too good an actor to be across from that. I'm still spamming my link. We'll see if anybody else shows up. If not, I'll cut it short, and who cares? Yeah, it is painful. It's just he's so good at his role, and then she is so bad. And another thing is that you know Princess Leia is 10 years old, and they made her this really snotty but adventurous 10-year-old girl, and I don't mind that character type per se, and it really fits with Leia's character throughout the entire Star Wars series. But boy, she's annoying. It's like she's good at playing her role, but she's annoying. That's the thing there. But yeah, the antagonist is she has no acting talent. She's just oh, we found a minority character or a minority actress who could be a bad guy, and they've just handled it badly. They didn't have to handle it badly. Just she just can't act. It's like Leia with the 10-year-old actress they got to play Leia in this series would be a better villain. It is, yeah, yeah. Everything is infected, and it sucks. But that's the world in which we live. And man, I had like a few people waiting on this to start up, but other than you, nobody's showed up yet. It's like we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll give it a few more minutes. I'm not annoyed or anything. It's just like I've been trying to get my studio space set up, and this obviously isn't it because the lighting is terrible. And I'm running off a webcam rather than my actual camera. But my actual camera has been giving me hell, so that's uh, that's a thing. Oh yeah, yeah. It's nothing to worry about. Like I've been like things have been going really well as far as my site goes. Like it's not life changing amounts of money, but it's hey, people are actually paying me for my work. Oh God, the trial. Jesus, it's been a trial because I've been watching almost all of it, except when I have taken naps. And Amber Heard is she's just a train wreck. She's a train wreck of a human being. She's like the worst of all of my ex-girlfriends combined into one person based on her testimony and the testimony of those around her, and it's just horrendous to watch. Like we really don't need that in our lives. She's I think that she's going to lose, but I mean it might be a draw, like the jury finds that both sides are at fault and nobody gets anything, but that's a loss for her. She's just she's so sick, and I get it because we both share a personality disorder. It just doesn't manifest the same way in men as it does in women. And uh, I just hate to be in her shoes right now. And she's she made a huge mistake by filing a counterclaim against Depp. If she was just defending her own um, accusations, then she would probably be more sympathetic to the jury. But instead, she files this $100 million counterclaim, and that's just bad tiki. It doesn't look good, and she needs to. Well, she shouldn't have done it, and it's very clear that she's the one running the show rather than her legal team, and that's another thing. It's like if you hire lawyers, they're the experts. You need to let the experts do their job, and I mean, yeah, her legal team might have suggested it, but it's just not. It's bad optics all around. They they've done a really bad job. Yeah, sorry. I turned on slow mode because people get stupid in these live streams, and I don't have moderators. I mean, I don't need them yet, but at the same time, it's like if I ever want to be monetized by YouTube, which I do, I have to I have to play by the rules, and it's stupid. Like YouTube is really it's really gone down the drain over the years, like especially as I've spent so much time the past 2.5 years consuming content. Like between being sick and the last 2 months without a car, it's like I've watched a lot of YouTube, and I see how it's done, and it's just ridiculous. It reminds me of the Ned Flanders types who I was around growing up, only from the left, and that's a thing, and it's funny. That's all right. I I've been on a couple shows. I was on I was on Nick Rakita's live stream once in 2020, and it was the week before I had my first diabetic coma, and that was I didn't know how sick I was. I looked like hell. I looked like a concentration camp victim in that live stream, but yeah, it went well overall, except that I didn't. He wanted me to talk on my secondary topic more than I was willing to do so when I was so unwell. Like, if he would have me back, I would be happy to talk to him about it now. But at the time, I knew I was unwell. I just didn't know how unwell I was. And then the Kurgan had me on once, and that was fun. Um, Giuseppe and I we're good friends, although we'll disagree vehemently whenever we have the opportunity. My secondary topic when I went on Rakita, the primary topic was getting deplatformed by Shopify with crypto fashion. But then the secondary topic was going to be talking about the toxicity of the convention scene and how that related to Me Too and other similar movements, and some of the scandals that I had knowledge about. But like when I pitched the idea for the episode, he didn't quite take into account that was quite a secondary topic. And by the time we'd finished with the first one, I was just not well and needed to quit. But hey, yeah, he's still one of my favorite YouTubers. I've watched all of his commentary except for where I took naps on the Heard and Depp trial, and I usually catch his late night shows too. I usually fall asleep to that playing in the background. It is an interesting topic, and there are a lot of convention scandals that I could go into, but I just kind of blew the shot when I had the opportunity. In retrospect, I shouldn't have, but I was, you know, after an hour and a half, I was just feeling done. I was just feeling done, and like literally a week later, I was in the hospital with diabetic ketoacidosis and was out for 3 days. So yeah, that was like we it's just not a good situation and not a fun situation to be in. Um, hey, it looks like we've got some more viewers coming on. That's good. If anybody has any questions, I'm not monetized at this point, so you can talk to me, ask me anything. I'm looking at the chat. Um, Professor Kreisler is a friend of mine, but yeah, I mean anybody can ask me anything. You can ask me about writing. You can ask me about crypto fashion. You can ask me about the convention scene. I'm sorry, my camera angle sucks. I just don't have my studio space set up because I had to. It was going to be one of my rooms in my warehouse, and then I needed that room for something else. And so, yeah, I'm just here at house, and I have annoying background lights, but I don't have any other good lighting in this room. So, I mean, we could go dark for dark business, as the dwarves in The Hobbit said. But yeah, it just is what it is. And why are okay? Hang on. But yeah, that's was ist ist. Give me just a second since we're quiet here. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, no, I totally understand that because it's a new medium for me as well. I'm used to audio only, and I'm not used to being on screen. And I mean, I've done it a couple times before, but I'm just not used to it, and it's all good. I'm not I'm not worried about it, and I have people backing my subscribe star, and they are paying money for potential content, and that's nice. It's not a lot of money, but it's money. The more I can do of this, the happier I will be, even if it is tedious the first few times. It's like Patreon. Subscribe stars like Patreon. You basically pledge a certain amount a month, and you get exclusive content whenever I release it. This is a little bit of an aberration, doing it on a public YouTube, but yeah, like people who back my subscribe star, they get exclusive content. Yeah. Let me send that over. It should have been in the description, but that's okay if it isn't. I'm new to starting this stuff. There we go. Here's the link. But yeah, it's like I've got the first chapter of a novel up there as exclusive content, and I'm going to be posting one chapter a month from that novel until it's done, and then move on to the next thing, and then whatever other content I can come up with. Like I have a very loyal backer there. Oh, you're good. No worries. I've like I said, I'm not used to YouTube. Their format is weird because I can't see everything that's going on at once. Like I see the chat and I see myself, and while I am a handsome devil, I don't particularly like looking at myself. I'm not a narcissist. But yeah, it's all good. Now I don't know who you are, who else is watching, but you can ask questions. You can ask me anything. Like I'm easy. I'm just not cheap. That's a really old in joke. Like my dad would say that all the time, and I stole it from him. Yeah, yeah, we would think that YouTube would have a better interface, and that's why a lot of people use subscribes, not subscribe star. I'm sorry. There's this one website where you can like have guests on your program and everything, and I have a subscription to that, but I don't know exactly how it works all the time. So um, for something impromptu, relatively impromptu like this, I'm not dealing with all that crap. It's the creator interface sucks though. Everything YouTube is terrible. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's just there's a reason I haven't done this sooner, because the interface itself is just so damn annoying. Excuse me. God, how professional. But yeah, I mean, anybody else who's hanging out, you can feel free to ask me questions or tell me how terrible this live stream is, or whatever. I mean, I'm easy. And that's going back. That's one thing about this trial that really stood out to me. It's just how egocentric um, Amber is. Oh God, you're asking about Gnosticism. All right. Yeah, Gnosticism is I mean, one, it's heresy. That's just the bottom line. It's heresy. It's kind of cool, and it's cool in the sense that it's like when I was 16, there was some edgy stuff that I was into, and all that. I do believe in a lot of supernatural stuff that people are not readily willing to accept, but it's all stuff that you shouldn't fool around with. Like, been there and done that and have had some pretty interesting experiences as a result, but I don't recommend it because it's going to be a bad time. But Gnosticism specifically, it's just I mean, if you go through it point by point, it's more of a it's more of a philosophy than a theology. And we're called in the book of Colossians to not put too much stock into the philosophy of men, but into the love of Christ. Like, I get where you're coming from, and that might be a private conversation. But yeah, I don't have much use for Gnosticism. The one thing about Gnosticism is that it does sort of like, if you're interested in Gnosticism, look into Orthodoxy. Oh, Robin, it's just coffee. I'm just drinking coffee tonight. But yeah, no, look into Orthodoxy because Gnosticism does have some good aspects when it comes to the spiritual side of things, but it's no better than Orthodoxy and is heretical at its worst. And that's pretty much my opinion. It's just, we need to be good and do good and obey. And obedience is an underrated but very important aspect of our faith, no matter what branch of Christianity you find yourself in. Um, I'm not the Kurgan. I'm not going to tell you you're going to hell because you believe X, Y, or Z. And I'm not going to try to convert you. It's just like, that's what I believe. It's like we need to focus on what we do in this life, but at the same time acknowledge spiritual reality. And spiritual reality is more real than what we experience in this life. I've been there. I've done that. Like, people don't believe me all the time when I talk about, oh, my dreams and my coma and all that crap. But it's like, I've been in some pretty weird places and I've experienced some pretty weird stuff. And I'm not here to start a cult or anything. I'm just going to tell you that there are more things in heaven and earth, dear Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And Robin, you're right. It's that was a good strip. I didn't complete the entire thing, but it was all done what I read of it. All right. Um, Unless there's more traffic incoming or more questions, probably give it about 10 more minutes because I do have other things that I could be doing. But this has been fun so far. No shade. It's just given the what's it called? There are people who will sign up to watch a video and then not show up. So that's okay. I'm going to try to do this not weekly, but a couple times a month. And hopefully with a better space setup, because this I know my lighting is garbage, because it is. One second. All right, but yeah. Well, thank you for signing up. And yeah, Robin, the lighting, like the way my house is set up, really sucks. And what I wanted to do initially was convert one of the rooms at my warehouse for crypto fashion to to be my studio space. But then we got this new equipment and other stuff, so I have to use that room for something else. And it was a really nice studio space. It would have been perfect for all of this. And so yeah, I'm improvising because I've been talking about doing this for a year and a half, 2 years, and haven't really done so. And that's part of the issue. It's like I'm not trying to be a flake about it. It's just like I'm a little bit of a perfectionist about certain things, and now I'm just to the point of being a perfectionist is counterproductive, especially because people like my work and they want to talk to me, and yeah, it's weird having a fan base, even though it isn't huge. It's just, excuse me, it's just that it exists. But again, thank you, Professor Kreisler. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it is literally just that. It's like I've I need to do things because um what I had been doing hadn't been working, and it's it's really difficult because I'm a workaholic, but I haven't quote unquote worked in 2 months. I've been writing and following this trial and writing about the trial and trying to build my online business and presence and all of that. And instead of like to me, I'm a very quid pro quo, very transactional person. So I like to do things like DoorDash or Instacart or whatever. And not having a vehicle for 2 months has been hell on my psyche. It's not easy for me. It's like instead, oh, you get to write and create and stuff. You know, the thing you wanted to do all your life. It's like, I guess I'd better get to it. So that's what I've been doing, and I've owed people more online content like this and like a podcast for a while because that's part of what I promised when I did a GoFundMe. And I wasn't trying to welch on them. I just thought that I wanted to give them a higher quality product than me sitting on my couch with really crappy lighting. And that's pretty much it. It's just like, it is not, it's not an easy thing though when you have like my mindset. I might be Orthodox now, but I was very much raised in the Protestant work ethic. Like everything I do has to be the best, but that's not really true. It's it's just not. It's like do what you can with what you have to work with. It's it's pretty much where I am right now. But yeah, yeah, and David's absolutely correct. It's it is literally that you just find your zone and you figure out your soil type and make whatever amendments you can to improve your odds. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Do it imperfectly, but just do it. That's that's really valuable advice. And yeah, the Protestant work ethic is not something you get away from. It's just an eternal. You must always do your best, and but the older I get, it's like it is both biblical and unbiblical. It's biblical in the sense that yeah, in Ecclesiastes and in I think it's Second Corinthians, we're told that whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, and do your work with quality. But at the same time, it's not a those aren't perfectionist doctrines. It's like, and I'm not a perfectionist about much. I'm like, it's when it comes to things like this and things like writing that I get really perfectionist. It's like in my interpersonal relationships, I'm just not. Just it's not that I don't care. It's just that I find it difficult to be bothered by a lot of things that bother most other perfectionists. because I know some pretty narcissistic people who they just demand X, Y, Z to be done in these narrow parameters in their business dealings, and I'm just like, I'm easy to do business with. I'm just not. There's just some things that, but this is one of those things. It's just like I don't want to. God, I want to deliver a superior product, but at the same time, I should deliver any product at all at this point. And that's the thing. It's just delivering any product at all. But yeah, I'm really. I have some alternate studio space maybe being lined up soon. We'll see. But until then, it's just like occasionally I'll have a halo around me. That is no reflection of my um, sainthood. But I think we're gonna wrap up here shortly because it's not been like super busy tonight. But we'll try and do this again a couple weeks from now, maybe. Animal get. I don't have any pets right now. I Today is actually my worst ex-girlfriend's birthday. And today I actually found myself missing her cat. And her cat was named Emma. And she was like part Maine Coon and Calico. And that cat was such an annoying bitch of a cat. But I actually miss that cat because it's like she that cat and I had a better relationship than that girlfriend and I. It was just funny. Um, oh yeah, yeah. She was a mix, Maine Coon Calico mix, and I mean she was a big cat, and I would God, I just I really miss that cat. Like that's the closest thing I've had to a pet myself than since I was like a kid. I used to have a pet eastern ringback snake when I was a kid, and I called him Monty because obviously when you're a child but slightly enculturated in Brit comms, you're going to call a pet snake Monty, even if it's not a python. But yeah, he was a good snake. He was we would my mom had a compost pile, and that was that was a thing. It was just like every few days we would go out and find some worms in the compost pile and then feed them to Monty. And, he was a big part of my childhood. And yeah, Professor Kreisler. That is indeed how I rank girlfriends. It's like there are some who are really good and wonderful people, and we just didn't work, and then there are others with whom things they could have worked if either she was less she or I was less me. and that's really the criterion. It's like I'm not I'm not a good boyfriend. I'm not good at relationships. It's the whole borderline thing. But then there were also those who are just terrible people in their own right. So yeah, it just is what it is. But there were some really good ones, and most of them are married now and have kids, and I'm really happy for them. It's just funny. I was the wrong guy. Uno momento. Yeah, I mean, Robin, I know you and your wife pretty well at this point, and you done good, man. Like you done real good. That's that's just life, and a lot of people criticize my generation for our bad relationship choices and everything, but the market is just absolute garbage out there, and this is just water. But yeah, it's absolutely terrible. Yeah, I will. I mean, I'm happy to talk about cluster B disorders anytime. Um, I think I think we're gonna wrap up this evening on the live chat thing, but but yeah, I'm happy to do that because I have one. Like, it's no fun that much. In brief, yeah, and the thing with millennials is that we just got a bad hand. Like, even my parents, they were the best parents they could be under the circumstance, but they were still boomers, and especially my dad. And losing my dad has been really tough on me because I love my dad and he was a good man, but he would still get really annoyed whenever I would do some anti-boomer posting, like on Facebook or whatever. It's like I would post an anti-boomer meme and he would get all butthurt about it, and it was just like, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the stereotype. I'm talking about the culture in which we were raised. And he never quite got that. He sort of grew to tolerate it and learned to not argue too much about it. It's just like, it's nothing personal. It's not all boomers. It's just, yeah. But yeah, Gen X. I mean, Gen X. A lot of you guys were euthanized, like, to put it mildly, thanks to RV Wade. But but yeah, and now we have the Gen Zs and whoever's coming after that. Like, God, I don't envy my yeah, exactly, 30% attrition. I don't envy what Gen Z is going to go through because, like even those of us millennials who do get it, and we're all messed up in our ways. It's just yeah, it's just we're all messed up in our own ways. It's just really hard for us to, I have Gen Z nephews, and the best I can do is like, hey, let's go fishing, and if you want to mow my lawn, I'll give you $35. You know, it's really difficult to deal with them because, I mean, yeah, we can hang out and play Minecraft. I'm cool with that, but we didn't like exactly what Professor Kreisler said. It's like you had there is no American upbringing anymore. It's like I'm one of the last. Like I graduated high school before, just before MySpace came out. So I'm one of the last people who has lived life without social media as a significant thing, and social media is so damaging. I mean, it can be a powerful force for good at times if it's used correctly, but it's also really psychologically damaging to teenagers and young adults. I see that all the time. It's like that was actually something that that one ex and I fought about, was because she used to be social media obsessed when we were together. Like everything had to reflect a certain positive image, and I was just like, why do you care what these 2,000 strangers think about you? Just be you. Be an honest person. But yeah, social media is incredibly damaging, and uh, I use it obviously, but it's all in how you use it. Oh yeah, yeah. Dating and marriage market is just insane. This is part of why I'm just like unapologetically not in either market at this point. It's just not worth my time or energy. If if somebody were to like me that much, then cool. But otherwise, I don't exist to make you look good in front of 4,000 strangers. I'm happy for the people who can get there. I'm not bitter at all about that. That's one thing that people often get wrong. It's like, oh, Ian, you're just being an incel or a volcel or whatever. It's like, no, I don't care. I just don't want to put up with it. I've had enough shit in my life. But anyway, we're coming up on an hour, and you two have been the only real participants. So I think I'm going to call it an evening. And I appreciate you showing up. And like I said, I'll try and do this here probably in a couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. Uh, that's fun. Like, and maybe I can make some improvements to the lighting. next time. And I appreciate it, Robin. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good night and a good long weekend, because it is Memorial Day, and we need to remember those who fought and died. But anyway, thank you for showing up, and I hope you have a good weekend. Cheers.